Everyone, myself Anand Sakti. I welcome all of you at my YouTube channel. Friends, today I have taken a topic from Indian polity, that is parliamentary privileges. In this session, we will learn all about parliamentary privileges. The term privileges in Hindi it is called as Visheshadhikar. Privileges it means that some facilities which are granted to a particular class of people. Here the term parliamentary privileges it clearly means that some special privileges are given to the members of parliament. These are called parliamentary privileges, that is certain basic rights and immunities are enjoyed by the members of our parliament or parliament as a whole. These are known as parliamentary privileges. Privileges, that is our MPs are enjoying some immunities or they are exempted from the laws. That's why they are said to be enjoying the parliamentary privileges. Now I have drawn here the picture of parliament. Here you can see. I mean to say that the parliamentary privileges are can be categorized into two types, that is as a whole or individually. That is the privileges are enjoyed by the parliament as a whole as well as they are also enjoyed by the individual members of the parliament. Now, what was the purpose behind this concept of parliamentary privileges? The main idea or the main motive behind this constitutional provision was that it was to ensure the smooth functioning of the parliament. The smooth functioning of our parliament, it was required that the members of the parliaments are free to express their views or opinions without any fear or without any extra pressure. Also, in order to ensure that our MPs can discharge their functions effectively, this provision, that is parliamentary privileges, are mentioned in our constitution. Also, to make our parliament more effective and independent, this concept or this idea of parliamentary privileges has been taken. Now, from where does this idea came? The idea of parliamentary privileges first emerged in England. Actually, at the time, there was monarchy system in Britain, and the members of parliament sometimes they have to face punishments or they were punished for any laws passed by them by the king. So, in order to ensure their effectiveness, that parliamentary privileges was thought. Now, let us look at what are the constitutional provisions or what are those articles which gives protection to our legislators or which talks about parliamentary privileges. So, you can note it down. There are two articles, that is Article 105 and Article 194. These two articles specifically talks about parliamentary privileges. Article 105 deals about power, immunities and other rights enjoyed by our member of parliament, whereas Article 194 deals about the same privileges with regard to MLAs in case of state legislature. Now, I hope up to here the point is clear. Parliamentary privileges are certain rights or immunities enjoyed by the members of parliament or parliament as a whole. Now, what is the scope of these parliamentary privileges? That is, who are eligible to enjoy these privileges. Then the scope or MPs, it is quite clear that members of parliament are eligible to enjoy these privileges, and not only MPs, even those who are members of parliamentary committees, they are also eligible to enjoy these privileges, and also union ministers and those persons who are eligible to take part in the proceedings of the parliament, they are also eligible to these parliamentary privileges. But please note down here that the president is not eligible. These parliamentary privileges do not extend to president. In fact, there is one separate article, that is article 361, which talks about the special privileges of the president. Now, as I have said earlier that the parliamentary privileges can be classified into two categories, that is collective privileges and individual privileges. Now, let us have a look on what are the collective privileges and what are the individual privileges granted to us by the constitution, granted to the MPs by the constitution. The first important privileges, collective privileges, is that the parliament is free to conduct its own business, that is, it is free to regulate its own internal affairs. No one have any role to interfere in its matters or in the proceedings of parliament. This is the collective privilege of our parliament. Similarly, the parliament has the exclusive right to publish its reports, debates or its proceedings. Parliament has also the right to remove any part of its proceedings or it can delete any reports if the parliament wants. That is, he is free, the parliament is free to add or delete any reports or proceeding as per its own will. The parliament has the right to exclude strangers from taking part in its proceedings. That is, parliament can also hold secret sittings. Generally, we see that all the proceedings of parliament are open as we watch in television, the debates or the ongoing proceedings of the parliament. But if parliament want, it can also hold secret sessions and can exclude strangers also. Similarly, the another collective privilege of the parliament is that the parliament has the right to punish its members or for the contempt of house or for any breach of privilege. Parliament can do inquiries in any matters related to the proceedings of the parliament. It can also make committees to inquire or to look into the matters. And the courts, no courts can interfere in the internal affairs of parliament. So, these are some privileges which are enjoyed by the parliament as a whole. Now, let us have a look on the individual privileges, that is the immunities or the rights which are enjoyed by the members of parliament individually. The first one, freedom from being arrested. This is very important one, because according to this provision, the parliamentary privileges, no MPs can be arrested before 40 days of the start of the parliamentary session, or during the session, or after 40 days of the end of the parliamentary session. That is, they cannot be arrested during this period. So, this is the first individual privilege enjoyed by the members of parliament. Another important thing is that no MP, no members of parliament can be held liable for anything said in the parliament, or they cannot be held accountable for any vote given, or that is, they cannot be held responsible before the court. They cannot be brought to the doorsteps of the court during the session of the parliament. Another very important privileges granted to the granted to our parliamentarians is that they have got the freedom of speech. Here, this freedom of speech, this is being talked in Article 105, Clause 1. What does it mean? The freedom of speech means that the members of parliament or state legislatures, they have the freedom to express their views or opinions without any hindrances. That is, they have got the freedom of speech. But we, as being a citizen, we have also got the freedom of speech, and our freedom of speech is mentioned in Article 19. But here we must note down the difference, that the freedom of speech which is being given to the members of parliament, they are absolute. That is, there is no any restrictions on their freedom of speech, whereas the freedom of speech which we enjoy as by the Article 19, we are subjected, our freedom of speech is subjected to some reasonable restrictions. But the freedom of speech which is enjoyed by the members of parliament, they are absolute. But here we must note down the point that it does not mean that they are free to say anything, whatever they want. There are some, they cannot enjoy this freedom of speech when they are outside the parliament. That is, they enjoy this freedom of speech only when they are inside the premises of parliament. So, I hope this point is clear. Now, another important thing with regard to individual privileges is that the members of parliament cannot be made witness, or they can refuse to appear as witness, or they can refuse to give evidence before any court. It means that they cannot be compelled, they cannot be forced to become a witness. So, these are some individual privileges which are enjoyed by the members of parliament. So, I hope this point is clear to all of you, the collective privileges and individual privileges. Now, let us understand what happens when any of these privileges which have been granted to our members of parliaments or parliament as a whole are disregarded, or what happens in case of the violations of the privileges which have been made available to our parliamentarians. In that case, it is called as breach of privilege. In short, I have written here BOP, breach of privilege. It simply means that when the privileges are disregarded, then it is called as breach of privilege. Now, what happens when such things occur, or when this breach of privilege is being done? Then what is the procedure to be followed? And this breach of privilege is also punishable under the law of parliament. Now, what is the procedure to be followed in case of breach of privilege? First of all, a notice is to be moved by any member of either house, that is either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. He moved a notice in the form of privilege motion against the offender. This notice is, after discussion, it is passed to the privilege committee. Privilege committee is a committee in which there are around 15 members in case of Lok Sabha and 10 members in case of Rajya Sabha. The notice is passed to the privilege committee. The privilege committee examines the matter and then finds out whether the breach of privilege has actually done or not, and if he found the offender, or if he found the person responsible for breach of privilege actually guilty, then the privilege committee can recommend punishment, like he can reprimand the concerned person, or he can also or the privilege committee can also recommend imprisonment for that person. So, I hope this point is also clear to you. The breach of privilege. In the past also there have been some instances where breach of privilege or the privilege motion has been taken up, and we have been noticing that there are on several times our members of parliament are resorting to this tool available to them, that is privilege motion. And in the past we have seen that some editors or some news channels are being punished for their reports or for their articles, in with asking them to withdraw their reports or remove their articles, granting the reason of this breach of privilege. In the year 1978, even Mrs. Indira Gandhi was expelled from the house for her actions or for the excesses during emergency. So, this was all about parliamentary privileges. I hope all the points are clear to you. Thank you. Thanks for watching.